Dear viewer, we've been living here for a year now, and as the colder months have been drawing in, I've been reflecting on our time here so far. The challenges, the mistakes, the lessons and the blessings of this remote life that we've been living. If you would like to stay for tea today, then welcome to my corner of the world, specifically a rural cottage in southwest Wales. When we first moved here, I'd only been to Wales a handful of times, and I had no idea what to expect. Alex, however, had a long history here. Our home was his grandmother's cowshed when she farmed here in the 70s. His dad grew up next door. His parents met here. His uncle's hands converted the cowshed into the home it is today. His cousins were born here and his grandparents died here, so for Alex, moving here was like coming home in a way. And me, well, I'd never lived anywhere longer than 5 years in my whole life. Home is a complicated concept for me, but I felt that this deeply wild and secluded place might help me develop a deeper sense of home within myself. Can you hear that? There's a storm coming in, I think. I can just about feel it starting to rain. It was such a beautiful morning, and it's equally beautiful now in a different way. It's always magical here. I love this place so much. It feels like so much magic is here. So much grows here all year round. My favourite time is in the spring because there's wild garlic, and then after the wild garlic everything just comes alive with colour. I'll insert some videos because it's so special. But even at the moment there are poppies still growing here, there are geraniums still growing here, and we're in October now and it's still so green. One of my favourite things about the stream is that there are these crystals, these quartz crystals that you can find in the water sometimes, and when you pick them up they just feel so powerful, like the energy they give off is really strong. Sometimes when I find one I like to take it home if it's a special one, just to borrow it for a while and have that energy in my house, and then after it feels like the energy isn't so strong anymore, I take it back to the stream so that it can be back where it belongs and soak up more energy from the stream. Just by walking down here, every time I have felt lost, every time I felt sad, the energy of this stream just leaves me feeling so much more alive, so much more hopeful, so much more inspired and so much more peaceful. It's really been one of my favourite things about living here. I think wherever you live, you need to have those places that really anchor you in your world. I think the longer you spend in a place, the more of these little places you map out and your territory of home really expands. I'd really like to do a meditation video here at some point where I just film the stream and then record all of the sounds, just so that I can share a little bit of the magic that it brings, because it's so special and I love it so much. And I really wanted to come and sit down and have a nice cohesive chat that made a lot of sense, but I feel like I'm just rambling on about how special the stream is. It makes me so happy. So today I am just resetting for the week. I've got a quiet day at home and I thought I would bring you along to reflect on the last year living in this wonderful place. But first I'm going to have to convince myself to get up and leave this spot. I just want to sit here all day. won't pretend the last year hasn't been challenging, but I also won't blame most of those challenges on our experience here. We seem to have had the kind of year where everything goes wrong, a year filled with loss and frustration, financial strain, illness and injuries. Our year probably would have looked similar wherever we had lived in that respect. But when you live somewhere remote, away from friends and family, and all the noise of society, all distractions are stripped away. You have to make your own magic, otherwise the challenges can become the main focus of your life. And during the seasons where it's storming wildly for weeks on end, it can get pretty gloomy if you're just shut up at home with all of your problems. I found I learnt very quickly to just pull on my wellies and my waterproofs and get out anyway. Otherwise, cabin fever crept up on me. Sometimes the wind is so strong it's hard to walk. But wind like this is fantastic for blowing away the cobwebs and building plenty of strength too. Speaking of building strength, there are always outdoor jobs to be done, and we found it quite hard to maintain our garden here, along with keeping balance in the rest of our lives. When we first moved in, I spent more than 8 hours every day weeding and pruning, only for it all to have grown back the following week. These days, we just maintain a little slice and let the rest of it go wild. The birds prefer it that way anyway. When all distractions are stripped away, the areas that need healing and strengthening are revealed. We've become stronger as individuals and as a couple. We've learnt to face challenges together, problem solve together, and communicate our emotions when things have been tough.
Alex has returned to make me lunch. Dun, dun, dun. Here in the Big Brother house.
Dylan said, she's got fed up with you, has she? She's brought you a stable. And I was like, yes. And he was like, or is it a kennel or is it a pen? And I was like, we'll go with pen. Ready? Ooh, lovely.
That's a lot of paprika.
Well, it has to look good for the film.
Ooh, pepper.
From Lidl.
My camera doesn't work like that, but I appreciate your vlogging skills.
I'm just trying to get a deal with Lidl with this. Can you imagine?
That would be the dream.
Lidl is for like sponsoring our lives.
Myself being 28 years old and Alex 31, we can both agree that this is the first time in our lives that we've ever truly felt like we might actually be adults, or at least on the way there. I love the way this quiet life affords so much space for simple pleasures, such as slow mornings, drinking coffee and talking instead of spending time commuting. Evenings spent playing Scrabble and card games as we don't have a TV, listening to the owls hoot at night, visiting our local towns, cooking in the garden, going on long muddy walks with my dog at lunchtime, and taking her to the beach after work. I love being able to roll out of bed and walk straight outside in my pyjamas, with nobody around to see me and no traffic sounds. I have yet to tire of seeing the Milky Way every night, at least when it's not cloudy, and recently we got to witness the aurora dancing underneath it. Simple pleasures can be enjoyed anywhere, but tucked away in this quiet corner, it really does feel like an easy place to do so. Will we be here forever? Probably not, but for this very chapter that we're in, which is the only one that really matters right now, we are exactly where we want to be.
So, being like, arr, it'd be huge. No offense to all the teeth that aren't, but yours